Hello everybody, in today's video we're talking about abusive relationships. Dr. Christy here. If today is the first time you're stopping by my channel, kindly consider subscribing. Like this video, share, you might be helping somebody. Let's dive in. Those of you who know Mercy Gono, she is a YouTube star who has had her share of abusive relationships. Since she puts it out there, we're gonna have a conversation about it. Just watch this.
I have been, like I said, used, abused, manipulated, and just basically pushed around for such a long time that I'm sick, I'm tired, and I just want to move on with my life.
Mercy Gono says she and her fiancé have been engaged for about 7 years and have known each other for about 14 years. They started this relationship when she was about 16 or 17 years old, and so she was a bit quiet on it since she's coming from an African background or an African home where relationship at this age is not really encouraged. So when she got into the relationship and it started being abused, she did not tell anyone. She went through it and thought that was okay because it's the guy's way of showing her that he really cares about her. Now, abuse comes in many forms. You have to be very careful so that you don't fall prey to someone's abusive misbehaviors. Now, there is psychological and emotional abuse. These abuses often undermine the partner's self-worth with verbal attacks. They call you names, they belittle you, sometimes they humiliate you in public. They accuse you of having an affair or doing something that you haven't really done. When you call them out on it, they tell you it was just a joke. And sometimes too, they act very loving, jolly out there with you, but when they come inside, they come home with you, that's when the abuse takes effect the most. Threats and intimidation is another way that a person gets abused. One way abusers keep their partners in line is by instilling fear. They threaten you, they make you feel like you have nobody else to speak to, nobody else to talk to, and that if you try it, something bad is gonna happen to you, they're gonna harm you or your family member. Not surprisingly, victims of this abuse often feel anxiety, panic, and they are afraid to speak up, and so they stay with the abuser and then suffer in silence. Now, they make you feel isolated, which they actually do isolate you from people. If they realize somebody can support you, they make sure that you don't get back to the person or be friends with people who can encourage you and help you stand on your feet. All of these might be done by physically holding you against your will. Sometimes they isolate you in a way of accusing you of doing something bad with the individuals who could help you. And so you, as the one being abused, because you don't want to create any more problems, you conform and you stay quiet. There's also what we call economic abuse. In this situation, the abuser withholds money from you. That way you don't get money from anywhere and then you become very dependent on him. And so that also makes leaving the relationship very difficult. Sometimes they also get your children to dislike you. They say things to your family, to people, for them to dislike you so that they won't get close to you to find out what you are going through. Mercy Gono has done very well for herself by stepping out of this relationship, taking her child and moving on with her life. If you watch the full video that she posted on YouTube, she talks about how she's left and how she's moved on. Now she's trying to rebuild her brand, which I'm sure she has done so by now. What happens with most people is when it comes to even controlling you, it's not just controlling your emotions. They control money, they control your brain. People who are abusive come up with so many ways. They are so creative. They do that in so many different ways you don't even realize. Sometimes they constantly call you They text you, they are regularly checking up to see where you are, what you're doing. Are you where you mentioned you were going to be? Sometimes they also try to isolate you from friends and family. They subject you to feeling guilty about doing things that you're supposed to do for yourself to make yourself feel happy. Sometimes they make everything your fault. They accuse you of very little things and make it seem like it's so big. You feel so bad. You're constantly apologizing. Are you in a relationship that feels like what I'm describing? I urge you to either talk about it, try and solve it, and if it's not working, it's time to get out now. Sometimes abusers also say things like, if you don't do this, then I'm going to do that. That's a form of a threat. Sometimes they say, I love you, but the moment they add but to it, whatever comes after that is negative and is going to be abusive in the sense that it's going to hurt you. What is so big about just telling somebody I love you and full stop? No buts, no ifs, just I love you, I care about you, and that's it, right? But somebody saying I love you but making you feel like you did something wrong and so they love you. However, there are things they are holding back so you don't have the full love from them. That is abusive. Sometimes they let you go into extreme mood swings, or they themselves are in extreme mood swings, or they are so moody you can't even speak to them or speak with them. And when you try to speak to them, they blow up and they get angry and probably hit you physically or hurt you or say words that are going to hurt you emotionally. Abusive people are usually sarcastic. They make unpleasant comments about you. Depending on the tone of voice they use, you can tell that they are being unreasonable. Sometimes they are also extremely jealous. They don't even want you to hang out with anybody. They don't want you to talk to anybody but themselves. And so once you do that, they humiliate you in public. They say things to make people dislike you. Sometimes too, when someone is abusing you, they ignore you or they exclude you out of things. That just tells you that they're trying to make you feel like you're nothing, and do not sit back and watch these things happen to you. If you or you know somebody who is going through a similar thing, tell them, advise them, encourage them. Talk to somebody, seek professional help, get support, and don't remain in a relationship like this. It's not good for your mental health. It's not going to help you in the long run. Abusive people constantly put you down. They are overly critical of everything you do and they love to humiliate you in public or embarrass you. I'm going to end here on this video. Kindly come back again and check. I'll be posting more about relationships. I also talk about how to make your life a happier one by living a healthier life, losing weight if you are looking to lose weight. All those little things can boost your mood and make you feel confident. That way you don't get stuck with someone who is abusing you in a relationship. The abuser also makes you feel like if you leave them, nobody is going to want you. And so you get stuck and you're so stuck in this abusive relationship. You feel like there's nothing left for you to do. You are stronger than you think you are. And so give life a chance, give people a chance to help you. Don't feel offended when people give you suggestions or comment on you look different, you've changed, you don't seem as happy as you're supposed to be. Take a hint from that, take a cue from that. Ask yourself, am I happy? Are they telling the truth? And don't be offended by what someone who loves you or cares about you is trying to tell you. To this point, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly go ahead and hit on the subscribe button. Like this video. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate all of you, and I'll see you again in my next one. Same time, same place, and same space. Take care of yourself and be well. Bye for now.